Once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a rich man and a poor man. The rich man was so rich that he had more money than he knew what to do with. He had piles of gold coins stored in his vault, enough to make him and his family wealthy for many lifetimes. The poor man, on the other hand, struggled to make ends meet. He was always in debt and had to work long and hard hours just to put food on the table for his family. Despite their vastly different situations, the two men had one thing in common: a love for their sons. The rich man's son was a spoiled and pampered young man who had everything he could possibly want. He drove around town in a fancy car and threw huge parties, inviting all of the most popular girls. The poor man's son, on the other hand, was a kind and hard-working boy who helped his father with his work whenever he could. One day, the rich man's son was driving around town when he saw a beggar and stopped to give him some money. "Here you go," he said, tossing a coin to the beggar. "Go on, get yourself something to eat." The beggar looked up and saw that it was the rich man's son. "Thank you, sir," he said, recognizing him, "but I don't want your charity. I'd rather earn my food honestly." The rich man's son was taken aback by the beggar's words. "What do you mean?" he asked. "Don't you want this money? I have plenty of it." "I don't want your money," the beggar replied. "I want to earn my own." With that, he turned and walked away. The rich man's son was confused. He couldn't understand why the beggar didn't want his money. He decided to follow him and see where he went. He followed the beggar to a small house on the outskirts of town, and saw that he was known in the community and that people respected him even though he was a beggar. The rich man's son went back home that day and told his father about what he had seen. "Father," he said, "I gave a beggar some money, but he didn't want to take it. He said he would rather earn his food honestly." The rich man thought about this for a moment. "It sounds like he's a hard-working and honest man," he said. "Why don't you bring him to our house and we can give him a job?" The rich man's son was surprised by his father's reaction. He thought that he would be angry, but instead he seemed to be intrigued by the beggar's story. The next day, the rich man's son brought the beggar to his house and introduced him to his father. "Father, this is the beggar I told you about," he said. "He's an honest and hard-working man, and I think he would be a valuable addition to our household." The rich man looked at the beggar and saw that he was indeed strong and well-built. "Very well," he said. "You can start by working in the garden." The beggar thanked him and got to work. In no time at all, he had the garden looking better than it had ever looked before. The rich man was impressed by the beggar's work ethic and decided to give him a raise. "You've done a good job so far," he said. "I'm going to double your pay." The beggar was grateful for the raise, but he told the rich man that he didn't need the money. "I already have enough," he said. "I just wanted a chance to prove myself." The rich man was even more impressed by the beggar's humility and decided to give him a bigger raise. "You've proven yourself to be a valuable member of our household," he said. "From now on, you will be my personal bodyguard." And that is how the beggar became the rich man's bodyguard and eventually became richer than the rich man himself.